Well, hello and welcome to another Faith, Philosophy and Life with me, Mr. Shelton. It's been a long time since I put a video on, but I thought, hey, let's do another little series. And this time we're going to start looking at the idea of miracles. It's going to take 3, 4 or 5 lessons, depending on access to the main DVD that we're going to watch later on. But we're going to look at miracles. Are they real or not? We're going to take this from a philosophical viewpoint and look at different approaches people might hold to these. So during today's session, we're going to explore what miracles are considered to be. It's going to be good if you can explain differing views about what miracles are. It's going to be great if you can evaluate if miracles happen or not in your opinion and why. And even better if you can assess if you can in fact trust people who claim to have had miraculously experiences and why. And this is a really good feed-in to those of you considering at A-level if you're watching this at Key Stage 4, because miracles is a topic that does appear in a number of A-level specs. However, before I get into it in any much more time, you need to grab a pen and paper, because here's our cheesy intro sequence. Okay, so to start off with then, these are my first 2 questions. I'd like you to write down what you understand by the word miracle and write down what miracles you may have heard of. Not saying that you believe they were miracles, but write down a list of things that you believe may have happened that were miracles. So pause me now while you do that. Come back to me as soon as you've got a definition of a miracle and written down any miracles you've already heard of. Okay, so let's just compare your definition of a miracle with mine. I've got a definition of a miracle being a supernatural event which cannot be explained by normal scientific means. Christians believe they're caused by God. Now, a lot of people would remove that final thing and just say that miracles are supernatural. Some people would even say that miracles are simply coincidences, which does pose a much bigger question, which we're going to address in just a moment. Now, what I'd ask you to do if this was in a class is I'd ask you to draw an opinion line and to go around and find out from each other about what they think about miracles. Do they think that they're just in fact lies and don't occur, or do they think they absolutely happen, or whereabouts on that line would you put that? So what I'd like you to do now is to just draw that line, write down make a little mark where you think you would be on that line, and maybe if you're doing this lesson as part of a scheduled lesson, send a message, WhatsApp, something like that to somebody else in the class, and try and gauge a little bit of an opinion from each other about whereabouts other people fall on that line as well. If you can, get some opinions from each other, but don't feel that you need to write anything down with that other than making that mark. So pause me and come back to me when you're done. Okay, so is a miracle just a lucky chance? So, I've got 2 little clips to show you here from Morgan Freeman talking about miracles. They're only short, but they're really good. And as we've got there behind my head, most would say it needs to go against laws of nature or be extremely unlikely, maybe linked to supernatural. But do you think that in terms of what a miracle is? Let's just watch these and then you come back to me.
Is a miracle something out of the ordinary that happens, or is it pure luck? Have you ever had a close brush? You ever felt the wings of the angel of death? That you're still here might be the miracle.
I think that some people say, oh, what a coincidence that this happened, and other people look at the same evidence and say, no, that's a miracle.
How prevalent are miracles? Are they something that most of us can look back on and say, oh yeah, I experienced this or that? I think being struck by lightning and not being burnt to a crisp, miraculous.
Really unlikely things happen. Scientifically, of course, really unlikely things are bound to happen.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you don't take inspiration or direction from things that happen. Miracles give people hope.
If they happen, I'm pretty sure that they cement your belief in God. I've had people tell me, yep, God has you in his hand. Okay, good. Most of us have a turning point in our lives, a pivotal moment where you wondered, how did this happen? Mine was 1989. I made 3 films, Lean on Me, Driving Miss Daisy, and Glory. Did I make it happen? Was someone up there calling the shots? Or was I lucky? To try to understand this, I've arranged to meet a psychology professor who thinks we often mistake random chance for miracles. Danny Oppenheimer.
It's nice to see you.
How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Good.
What are you doing?
I'm flipping coins.
Why?
I'm looking for streaks.
Streaks?
Yeah, if you flip a coin enough times, you're gonna get a streak.
Really? That's a lot of tails.
Well, if I flip a coin twice and I get heads both times, is that miraculous?
No. You do it 50 times and you get 60. That's a miracle.
Well, yeah, if you get more than you flip, certainly. But how rare does an event have to be before we would call it miraculous? 1 in a million? 1 in a billion?
I'll choose billion.
All right, 1 in a billion. Well, let's try something. All right. Jack of diamonds, 6 of spades,
Yeah.
king of spades, 2 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, and ace of spades. Is it miraculous to have gotten this sequence?
No. I mean, it's just a random selection of cards off the deck.
Well, right, but this particular sequence, starting with the jack,
Yeah.
and then getting the 6 of spades, and then king of spades, it only happens 1 in about 14 billion times you draw 6 cards. So it's pretty miraculous by your 1 in a billion standard.
So you're telling me that this is miraculous?
Well, no, as you said before, it's just a random set of cards. What if it was first 6 digits of your social security number? What if it were the last 6 digits of your social security number? The first 6 digits of your phone number? Sometimes it's not actually miraculous. Sometimes it's just probability playing its tricks on you.
All right, so how do we include the divine? Because there are people who really do think that there is divine intervention in these kinds of interplays.
Absolutely, and nothing I'm saying here rules out the possibility of the divine. The fact that probability predicts certain things doesn't mean that there can't be divine intervention. But miraculous things that are so unlikely that you think it can't happen by chance alone, they do happen, and they have to happen. It would be odd if they didn't, because with 6 billion people in the world, there are so many opportunities for something really unusual to happen that we would expect it to happen to some of them.
Okay, so do you think then a miracle isn't just a fact, a lucky chance? That's our thought. Most people would disagree. They'd say it can't just be luck because that's surely just coincidence. Maybe it does need to go against the laws of nature, but it's an interesting thought about what a miracle is without a doubt. So I've got a classic clip I'm sure you've seen several times. If miracles do go in fact against the laws of nature, what's their purpose? Okay, what's the point of these miracles? So I've got a clip to show you from the classic Bruce Almighty. I'm sure some of you have seen this previously. What I'd like you to do is to watch this, write down the things that you believe to be supernatural. I know it's all special effects, but write down the things that you believe to be unusual, and then see if any of those remind you of other miracles as well that you may have heard about, maybe at primary school, maybe things that you've studied. So let's watch this now, where you will come up with that list of things that happen and think, what of these remind you of other miracles?
Coffee?
Yeah. Coffee, yeah.
We have a special on soup today.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, thank you.
It's tomato. I made it myself. Okay, okay.
Excuse me, I need a It's okay, I found one.
Here's your soup.
Oh, soup, right. Yeah, right.
Having fun?
Thou.
Come. Take a closer walk with me. Let me explain the rules.
Rules?
Yeah, you left in such a rush, I didn't get a chance to explain.
2 extra fingers. Freaked me out a little bit.
I just figured I'd get your attention. I did the same thing to Gandhi. He didn't eat for 3 weeks. Anyway, here's the deal. You have all my powers. Use them any way you choose. There are only 2 rules. You can't tell anybody you're God. Believe me, you don't want that kind of attention. And you can't mess with free will.
Uh-huh. Can I ask why?
Yes, you can. That's the beauty of it.
This is amazing.
Speaking of amazing, excuse me.
Holy cow.
Since you're through with these, I think I'll keep them. Might come in handy someday. See you around, kid.
Where you going?
I'm taking a vacation.
God doesn't take vacations, does he? Do ye?
Did you ever hear of the Dark Ages? Besides, I'm covered. You can clear everything up in 5 minutes if you want to. Right? Ciao.
Okay, so hopefully you've got down things like salt and pepper moved. Maybe you wrote down about the soup splitting. Maybe that was reminiscent of the parting of the Red Sea that some of you may know about from Moses when they escaped from Egypt and the Jewish people. Maybe you've got the walking on water at the end, which is something that Jesus was said to have done. So if they are miracles though, what's the point of them? Okay, that's really sort of my next big question. What's the point of a miracle if they do in fact occur? So, is this a miracle? A child is stuck on a railway line. A train's coming, but the driver fails to see the child. However, just in the nick of time, the driver faints. His hand's taken off the lever, and the train automatically brakes. The train then stops just in front of the child. Is that a miracle or not? I'd like you to write a couple of sentences now. Do you think that's a miracle or not, and why? So pause me now while you do that. Come back to me when you're done. Okay, so with that done now, the next thing we're going to do is I've got another clip to show you. I'd like you to maybe write down some of the things that occur. Any of these that you believe to be miracles, any of these that you don't think to be miracles, and what questions come from these as well. So I invite you to watch this and then just go through those sort of 3 ideas, maybe even make a table. How you choose to lay this out is up to you. Which ones do you believe to be miracles? Which ones do you not believe to be miracles? And what questions would you ask? So let's watch that now.
There are many atheists and rationalists in the world who question the very existence of a higher power called God. At the other end of the spectrum, there are those who are religious to the point of attributing every mundane event as an act of God. The universe and our world remain a complex mystery where you cannot easily explain everything that happens around us. At times, our experiences force us to wonder whether miracles happen in real life. And when these miraculous events get captured on camera, it even questions the beliefs of those who only swear by science. So without further ado, let's look at 5 such cases. Now look at this video that captures a horrific accident, in which the odds of survival of the individuals concerned would be close to 0. A grandmother and her 5-year-old grandson get caught in an accident between a speeding car and a parked car. As one can see in the video captured in a street CCTV camera, the woman and the boy are walking slowly on the snowy road when the recklessly driven car comes in a wrong lane and collides with a parked white car. The sheer speed of the oncoming vehicle sends the parked car hurtling backwards, straight towards the startled duo. Before the two could even react to what was happening around them, the car hits them and flattens them on the road and runs over them. It is nothing short of a miracle that they not only survived this accident, but both got away with very minor injuries. Jennifer Greisbeck was driving home in Springville, Utah in March 2015 with her 18-month-old daughter when she seems to have hit a cement barrier and crashed into the river. The car was not visible from the roadway for 14 hours and was discovered the next day by a fisherman. He mentioned to the police that he saw an arm through the window, and Officer Tyler Beddoes of the police department and his men jumped in to check for any survivors. They saw a woman in the front seat, and all of them heard her say, "Help me, we are in here." The voice motivated them to push harder, as they hoped to save somebody. When they finally pulled the car up, they found that the woman was long dead, and her infant was alive but unconscious, hanging upside down from her car seat. The officers had no explanation for the mysterious voice that appeared to come from inside the car. Beddoes says he would not have believed it had the others in his team also not heard it. You can hear this voice in this video clip.
Eric, get over here, Beddoes. We're helping, we're coming.
The fact that the infant survived 14 hours in chilling water suspended upside down is also a miracle in itself. This event happened in Pueblo, Colorado in 2010, when torrential rain and thunderstorms led to flash flooding, wreaking havoc in the small town. With water levels rising rapidly, residents struggled to navigate on familiar roads. Charlene Darrera soon found herself in a nightmarish predicament when her SUV vehicle started to submerge in the rising waters. What's worse, even if she were to get out of the car, she had little hope, as she did not know how to swim. As can be seen in this video, a group of bystanders tried to help the hapless woman, but they seemed to be unable to break through the reinforced glass of the vehicle, and the vehicle finally gets submerged. Howard Absetz, one of the Samaritans, still kept trying and seemed to grasp a hand from under the window, and Charlene finally made it up. What was shocking was the fact that when her car was finally towed up from the water, all 4 windows were tightly closed. Or whether one of them opened briefly to let her out and closed back, no one knows. I guess she was ordained to survive this ordeal. This video captures that spine-chilling paranormal event when a balloon consoles a grieving mother who has just lost her 7-year-old son. This happened in the Philippines in September 2015. The inconsolable mother appears to be sitting on a bench during a condolence meet after the death of her son when this happened. In fact, there are 2 videos of the incident. In the first one, the boy's coffin is covered and decked with white flowers and balloons. In the second video, one of the balloons starts moving without any apparent help and moves through the room and goes towards the grieving mother as if it has a life of its own. The balloon seems to caress her, and she in turn pulls it towards her as if she were hugging it and regains her composure. Obviously, this could well be a mere random coincidence, but family members insist that the spirit of the boy made this last attempt to comfort his mother before moving to the other world. 14-year-old Chelsea Banton was born a premature baby and consequently suffered from several development disabilities. She had been in and out of hospital countless number of times when she was struck with a severe bout of pneumonia in 2008. Her condition worsened significantly, and the doctors advised her parents that the chances of her survival were very low and suggested that her life support be removed. Her parents agreed to this, with a view to put an end to her life of suffering. And then the unthinkable happened. Despite the life support being removed, Chelsea remained alive. A flash of light seemed to appear in her room, which appeared like a human with wings, possibly the mythical angel sent to save her life. This was cited by many hospital staff members at that time. How else could one explain the fact that despite no hope given by the doctors, Chelsea not only survived, but went home in 2 months? She went on to live a further 7 years and passed away.
Okay, so with that watch, the next thing that we are going to do is you'll find in the description below a link to my Google Drive. In that, you will find a whole load of miracles in a document called Case Studies. I'd like to load that up and again, read those over. You know how long you've got left of this lesson. Hopefully you've got sort of 10-15 minutes or so. I'd like you to have a read over those. Again, do the same activity. Which of these do you believe? Which of these do you think are miracles? Which ones do you not believe in miracles? And what questions would you ask the people involved with them? So spend the rest of this lesson to go through that. I've got one more thing to do before you go. So give yourself, as I say, you know how long you've got left, and go through, read them over, choose some miracles, and just summarize what do you believe, what do you not believe about them, and what questions would come from them. So pause me now while you do that. Again, Google Drive, come back to me in a few. Okay, so returning back to our class opinion line, I just wonder if things have shifted. Have you moved along that line at all? Has anyone else moved along that line at all? Maybe ask some other people, see what their opinions after they've done that lesson. Has your understanding of the miracle changed at all? I'm going to leave that there, so thanks for your time. Take care of yourself, stay safe, wash hands, God bless you, and hope I'll be seeing you soon.